Okay guys, good morning everybody. Here's our CVSU 101 part 4 and this is the last part of our CVSU 101. So let's start. So we are now dealing with the administrative offenses and penalties. The students sanctioned with exclusion for any number of days or months are not excused from their classes, school requirements, and are considered absent. A student shall be subject to admin disciplinary action for any of the following offenses with corresponding penalties. So let's start with the penalties that we have. Number 1, non-wearing of official identification card or ID and or prescribed uniform in the campus. First offense is disciplinary action and subsequent offense will be exclusion for not less than 1 week to not more than 1 semester. Number 2 penalties is use of another student's ID or allowing the use of IDs by another student. First offense is disciplinary action and subsequent offense is exclusion for not less than 1 week to not more than 1 semester. The apprehending person in authority shall immediately take custody of the subject's article of the offense and turn this over to the OSA for safekeeping until the case is finally decided. Penalties imposed under this sanction shall include confiscation of the article to be turned over to the government authorities concerned. Next penalties that we have is male students wearing earrings, inappropriate accessories, and long hair within the campus. First offense is disciplinary action and subsequent offenses exclusion of not less than 1 week to not more than 1 semester. The apprehending persons in authority shall immediately take custody of the subject article of the offense and turn this over to the OSA for safekeeping until the case is finally decided. Penalties imposed under this sanction shall include confiscation of the article to be turned over to the government authorities concerned. Next penalties that we have is unauthorized use of cell phone and text messaging during classes. First offense is reprimand, second offense is exclusion for at least 1 week, and subsequent offense is exclusion for not less than 1 week to not more than 1 semester. Next is using fictitious name. So first offense is disciplinary action, and subsequent offense is exclusion of not less than 1 week to not more than 1 semester. Then we have smoking within the campus. So first offense is disciplinary action and subsequent offense is exclusion for not less than 1 week to not more than 1 semester. The apprehending person in authority shall immediately take custody of the subject, article of the offense, and turn this over to the OSA for safekeeping until the case is finally decided. Penalties imposed under this sanction shall include confiscation of the article to be turned over to the government authorities concerned. Next offense is we have the cursing using derogatory remarks or using foul language directed against a person in authority or a visitor. So first offense is disciplinary action and submission of letter of apology. Second offense is exclusion of not less than 1 week to not more than 1 month. Subsequent offense is exclusion for not less than 1 month, exclusion from the university. Next, we have cursing directed against another student. So first offense is disciplinary action and submission of letter of apology, and second offense is exclusion for not less than 1 month. Next is cursing directed against no one in particular. So first offense is disciplinary action and subsequent offense is exclusion for not less than 1 week to not more than 1 semester. Next is we have indecent acts such as necking, petting, torrid kissing, regardless of the sex of the other party, indecent exposure of body, and other similar acts. So first offense is disciplinary action and subsequent offense is exclusion for not less than 1 week to not more than 1 semester. In all offenses under the section, the parents of both parties will be officially informed by the Office of the Student Affairs, and the prescribed penalty will be imposed on each of the participating party. Next is we have physical imposition of sexual desire upon another person, regardless of sex, against the will of said person, committed within or outside the university campus. So subsequent offense is disciplinary sanction and exclusion for not less than 1 semester to 1 year. Number 10, penalties is attempting of having sexual intercourse with another person, regardless of sex, by using force or intimidation, or when the other person is deprived of reason or unconscious or is below 12 years old, committed within or outside the university campus. First offense is exclusion for not more than 1 month, and subsequent offense is exclusion for not less than 1 month to not more than 1 semester. Number 11, penalties is possession, consumption, offering or selling intoxicating beverages within the university campus. First offense is disciplinary action, and subsequent offense is exclusion of not less than 1 week to not more than 1 semester. So the apprehending person in authority shall immediately take custody of the subject article of the offense and turn this over to the OSA for safekeeping until the case is finally decided. Penalties imposed under this sanction shall include confiscation of the article to be turned over to the government authorities concerned. Next penalties that we have is fighting, noting, resorting to physical force or violence, or challenging another person to fight. So first offense is exclusion for not more than 1 month to not more than 1 semester, and subsequent offense is exclusion for not less than 1 semester. The degree of penalty imposed under this sanction depends on the extent of injuries or damages caused and include payment of damages. Number 13, penalties is directly or indirectly taking part in any game or scheme, the result of which depends wholly or chiefly upon chance or hazard, whether money, articles of value, or representative values at stake. First offense is disciplinary sanction and exclusion for not less than 1 month to not more than 1 semester. The apprehending person in authority shall immediately take custody of the subject article of the offense and turn this over to the OSA for safekeeping until the case is finally decided. Penalties imposed under this sanction shall include confiscation of the article to be turned over to the government authorities concerned. Next penalties that we have is taking the property of another person without his or her consent, or having found the property of another and thus to return the same to the lawful owner or to the university authorities, or dealing in stolen properties. First offense is exclusion for not more than 1 month, and third offense is exclusion for not less than 1 month to not more than 1 semester. Should the property be taken by reason of violence or by intimidation of any person, the penalty shall be exclusion for not less than 1 semester to total exclusion from the university. Next offense that we have is simulating, forging the signature of another person, or erasing, substituting, or altering by any means the figures, letters, words, or signs contained therein, when done in any official document or issued by a person in authority. First offense is exclusion for not more than 1 semester, and third offense is exclusion for not less than 1 semester to exclusion from the university. When simulating or forging the signature is done on any private or other document. So first offense is exclusion for not more than 1 month, and exclusion and subsequent offense is exclusion for not less than 1 month to not more than 1 semester. Number 16, penalties is cheating in any test or examination. First offense is disciplinary sanction and a grade of 0 or no grade in the subject. Subsequent offense is exclusion for not more than 1 month to not more than 1 semester. Number 17 is disturbance of peace and order in the university campus or inciting others to disturb the peace and order in the campus during programs or ceremonies. So first offense is exclusion for not more than 1 semester, and subsequent offense is exclusion from the universities. Disturbance of peace and order within classes or inside school building. First offense is reprimand, second offense is exclusion for 1 week, and subsequent offense is exclusion for not less than 1 week but not more than 1 month. Disturbance of peace and order in other activities not covered by 17-1 and 17-2. First offense is exclusion for not more than 1 month. And third offense is exclusion of not less than 1 month to not more than 1 semester. And last penalties that we have is unauthorized connecting or disconnecting electric wires. So first offense is reprimand, second offense is exclusion for 1 week, and subsequent offense is exclusion for not less than 1 week, not more than 1 month. So persons in authority are the following: the President, Vice President, Deans, Directors, Department Chairpersons, and Unit Head. Second is we have the member of the faculty and staff, the member of the security force, and other person deputized by the President to perform specific assignments. Disciplinary sanctions include not allowing the offender to enter or ordering the offender to immediately leave the campus. Number 2, not allowing the offender to enter or ordering the offender to leave classrooms or other university facilities. Number 3 is reprimand or warning. The repetition of the same offense will be dealt with severity. Number 4 is officially informing the parents or guardians of the offenses committed and requiring the offender to submit a written apology and a written promise not to commit the same offense, and a written promise of the parents or guardians that the offender will be placed under closer supervision. Next is we have the disciplinary authorities. The Committee on Misdemeanor shall be composed of the Dean of Student Affairs Directors or Coordinator as chairperson, and 2 other members of the faculty designated by the President for a term of 1 school year as members. Next is we have the Board of Student Discipline. Shall be composed of the Vice President for Administrative and Support Services as chair, the Dean of the College where the offender is enrolled as member, and 1 member of the faculty designated by the President for a term of 1 school year as member. Then we have the jurisdiction. The Committee on Misdemeanor shall have original and exclusive jurisdiction over all offenses where the penalty prescribed under the scope of exclusion for not more than 1 semester. The Board of Student Discipline shall have original over all offenses where the penalty prescribed under the Code of Exclusion for not less than 1 semester, and appellate jurisdiction over all appeals taken than decisions of the Committee on Misdemeanor where the penalty imposed in exclusions for more than 2 months. So these are in line with the references under Student Handbook of CVSU. And this is the end part of part 2. Again, this is from Ching, and I hope you understand our CVSU 101.